They wanted to steal our name. And so they spread the word that in New Rome, Constantinople, in the east, there were no longer any Romans. There were only Greeks in New Rome, not Romans. The term Roman meant Orthodox. Greeks meant heretics. Because the Franks considered us heretics, they therefore called us Greeks, since the name Roman meant Orthodox. So, since the Franks regarded us as unorthodox, they called us Greeks.
If you'll just wait a moment, as we were concluding this discussion just now, we are certainly Roman Catholics or Orthodox, but we said it last time too, either Catholics or Romans. It's just that the entire audience is confused right now.
There's no reason to be confused. We are what we are.
But everybody knows us and calls us Greek Orthodox.
The name is incorrect. It is a name the Franks gave us. But we are obliged to call ourselves what our fathers called themselves. Our fathers themselves referred to themselves as Romans, and they did not associate that name with the Franks. The Franks were the enemies of the Romans, heretics condemned by the 8th and 9th ecumenical councils.
Are we not losing our Greek identity with all this?
No, because the Romans are Greeks. One is not either Greek or Roman. In the consciousness of the fathers, it is the same thing. That is, the Romans had a Greek culture. Their culture was Greek, and they had a Greek consciousness.
Could we say that a spiritual marriage took place between ancient Rome and ancient Greece, and this marriage formed Byzantium?
Or I don't know if we can call it a spiritual marriage, because the Romans are Greeks. So in what sense would we say that this marriage took place? Because it is the joining of two unopposing things. When we speak of a marriage, we speak of two opposing things, two different things that become united. We're not talking about two different things here. We're talking about one and the same thing, which has two names, Greek or Roman. It's the same thing. And that's why today in Greece, if you go up to a Greek and say, "You're a Roman," of course he'll say, "I am a Romeos." But if you tell him, "You're a Frank," he'll say, "No, never. I'm not a Frank unless I'm a Papist." Papists accept it. If you ask a Papist in Greece if he's a Roman, he'll say, "No, I am a Frank."
As their target, then, during the time that we are discussing, the Franks had targeted the papal throne of ancient Rome to seize it and its power. They viewed the papacy as the central authority of the church, which was based in Rome.
Yes, Father Paul. The Franks conquered us, just as the Turks came to the east and conquered the eastern part of the so-called Byzantine Empire. Our empire, the western part, where the Greeks lived, our Roman brothers, was conquered by the Franks. And whatever we feel about our 400 years of slavery under the Turks, we must feel the same toward our Frankish conquerors. The difference between the Turks and the Franks is this. The Turks kept their own religion. They did not become Orthodox, whereas our Frankish conquerors did become Orthodox. But very soon, however, they abandoned the Orthodox faith and introduced heretical teachings into Orthodoxy. And they sought to impose these heretical teachings on all us conquered Romans, so-called Greeks or so-called Byzantines.
Let me ask you something. Is it correct to say that the current Pope of Rome, as a successor of the Franks, is not a Roman?
That's correct.
So then, we can also say that modern Italians are not Romans.
At this point, either the Italians today are descendants of the Franks, or, if you will, a portion of the Italians are Romans who think like Franks. They have been Francicized. Most are all Franks by descent. Most are Romans who have become Francicized. Similarly, in the eastern area of the Roman Empire during the era of Turkish slavery, if an Orthodox Christian became a Muslim, we said that he ceased to be a Roman, and he was now a Turk. He was Turkicized. It's analogous to the era of Frankish conquest, when if someone became a Papist, they were called them Franks. Allow me to point this out. Here in America, where there is such a struggle to preserve our Hellenic identity, this is a concern for all Greeks in America today. How will their children be able to remain Greek? There is only one way, through Orthodox Christianity. If the Greeks of America cease to be Orthodox, If they abandon orthodoxy, very soon they will also lose their Greek identity.